Well, welcome to my world. Come on in. It is Studio M. It's the cafe, and we are live. My name is Coach Colleen, and my camera seems a little high, but anyway, it's late, but this is how we roll. I am a caregiver, and this is how it has to be. My name is Colleen Liz Frost. I'm in development, and you are at my pre-launch of something great. And I'm just so excited about tonight because today was a pretty exciting day. It's Saturdays and it's getting ready. And I am excited to share with you what has been happening in our 7 days of balance. Studio M is the cafe named after my mother and me, your coach, number 33. This is her special place, her sitting room, where we sat endless hours planning our cafe, built with you in mind. Coco Cafe, Coach Colleen, your head coach. So welcome to my world. Come on in. Saturdays is getting ready. Prize possessions start with getting ready. Today I'll show you my prize possession, and we will then first of all, we'll have to get ready for this. So I am your coach. I was raised in the 7 days of balance and living life on purpose. If you are traveling on this internet, I hope you rest here a while. Make these 7 days be your traveler's rest. I am your head coach and I am on a mission in remission, celebrating history and creating more. This is going to be something good, I promise. First, today, I went to my best friend's graduation party. Her name is Liv. She's 18 and she picked me in first grade for her best friend. She hung me there on her wall as her assignment was titled, "Color a picture of you and your best friend." And there it was, me, on the wall, down the hallway of a pretty big public school. Colleen and Liv for the world to see. It was probably one of my most prized memories. And well, it was one of the proudest moments of my life. And she was the daughter of my son's friend. And my very first play date at our home, she was like 2. She was a star of all my plays back then. And wow, do I wish I had a movie camera then. But it's these memories today at her party that danced in my head. Then I saw her wall of fame and her family, uncles, aunts, grandmas, and grandpas, and a host of friends. Of course, Finn was there. If you remember my past video, he's like my new favorite person. He's a Division I graduate here in Perm, Minnesota. He's going to be playing Division I football for NDSU. That's her boyfriend. And, I just think he's awesome. And then I ran into Liv's mother's best friend. She's an artist, a musician. I was kind of nervous because she's like beautiful. And her and Sean, Liv's mother, they are best friends. They go way, way, way back. So it was a joy to see her. And we laughed at our deep love of the two women, Liv and Sean, when I met her. And then there was Norma. Norma is Sean's husband's mother. Well, and she's my person. I love her because she is my connection to where my mother grew up on the reservation. And we talked powwow and discussed our plans of going up there again one of these days. Pictures were just being taken, and my phone that is always off, because I left and went 5 blocks to their home, it was now on and ringing. I looked gracefully down, and it was my son. Deep breath. My son has been calling a lot lately on purpose, and I'm fairly thrilled. But, this was like the middle of the day call. So, of course, I made the parenting decision to answer it in public. So it was just one of those things that hasn't happened to me for, a long time. And I took it, and I was glad I did. Within a few sentences, I knew it was like one of those SOC calls, like those important ones where you need to get into a closet, wherever you get ready for a big call. And in my case, I had to fly to my dad's van and take cover, drive a few blocks, park the car, nestle in, and get ready for what's next in his conversation. It was a big day. It was a private call. And I instantly knew that this would be something that my best friend, would understand. You know, authenticity comes to mind when I think of today, from my son's call to Liv walking among her friends and family. I have been celebrating history and creating more with my family and with my son and her family in such an authentic way. And it just simply means that you are, authenticity. Let's first of all describe it. It means that you are true to your own personality, values, and spirit, regardless of the pressure that you are under to act otherwise. So like with Sean and John's family, for Adam and me, it did not happen by accident. So this is the part that you need to, let's all have some water. Oh, this is a secret. These kids are truly themselves inside their homes, with their families, and in the world, under extreme pressure, because they had a mother in the kitchen and at the pulpit who practiced a balance with the whistle in her step. And I have to say, this was also Sean. Sean is the real deal. Liv and Dawson are the real deal. My son is authentically Adam and the real deal. So now I want to share what I think was the big shift in how it could have went either way, at least for my kid. It all happened in the 3rd grade. It was the first day of school, and we were off and bouncing down that hallway, bounce, bounce, bounce. And when we start talking more about bouncing, I'll tell you more about just how important it is. But we will start with the first day of 3rd grade. Now, it's very important. Every teacher that my son had had up to this point, I knew like the back of my hand. And Darla Gina was his kindergarten teacher. We won't talk about the one we had for a month. And then there was Marlene Boardingheimer, who was my volleyball coach and like one of my longest term people in my life. I would, I worship her. Anyway, and she's just magical. And then let's move on to my point guard. That would be Kim Aker, Kim Salthy, to be more accurate. Anyway, it is very important, and it wasn't like handpicked, but we were persuaded to pick those. And I have to say that walking down that 3rd grade, I didn't really pick, we weren't picking teachers. It just happened that way because I didn't want to be like too aggressive. And I'm walking towards this teacher, and if my Sean was there, because she was in our neighboring town, I always used her as kind of a radar detector, because you see, Sean was, anyway, I walked down and I kind of instantly knew that there was going to be, she needed some help. So either way, I was without her and I carefully picked them, but let's just put it lightly. Sean and I are not helicopter parents. We are what they call a 747. And oh boy, did I have her with me that day. But I gave it the old college try. I went on to day 3. It's simply that I ended up discussing with this teacher, because she was young, brand new at this teaching thing, and I was an older parent. I was probably the oldest one in this classroom. Let's just go with that. Anyway, I said, I have just a great idea, because you see, I think from 0 to 8, your kid's pretty much grounded in who they're going to be authentically. And that is the age where they just, anyway, I explained to her that my son has had a pen pal since he was in, let's just go with 4. And as soon as he could hold a pen, he wanted this pen pal. That's another video. And I was telling her how exciting it was and how much he had learned about Guatemala. Anyway, she just could not, thought that was so interesting. So I started with that. And I said, well, wouldn't it be kind of interesting if the kids kind of wrapped up their week like they did with Marlene Bodingheimer and kind of wrote to their parents back and forth? Well, she thought that was a great idea. And so God bless her for that, because that's what started what I call, he had been writing to her. So I said, to teach communication with these kids, trying to get, I wanted these kids to really like her so bad because she was extremely shy. And that's a hard personality with these third graders. So not always the best particular way with kids this age, but let's just say she was very laid back, slow moving. And third grade is 1,000 questions. She was newly pregnant and very ill, so she welcomed my first great idea to have the kids pick their parents to be pen pals with and teach them how to ask questions back and forth and share what they are learning, etc. Well, she loved the idea. It was our first real connection. Here is what happened. My son was able to really think then about who he was and wanted to be that year, and to do so on purpose. And he was very deep thinking with these letters. He took this assignment so seriously, and I think most of the kids did. He pondered his answers to my questions and asked good questions in return. And he started to turn that mirror about me out to say who, what, where, when, why, and how, and what's happening right now. So this to me was a magical assignment, and it went the whole year long. He was really able to think about who he was and wanted to be that year, and to do so on purpose. He had such a strong footing by this age. And I think a lot of those third graders are already like 30. And as you know, I truly think that by 8, they have their crowns firmly planted. Teaching, preaching, and repeating from 0 to 6 to me was like boot camp. And to say that he was prepared for the world would be a drastic understatement here. Cancer changed my game when he was only 2. So I sped everything up with this 747, but it was the exciting time for Adam and I, and we learned a lot. But I wanted the pedal to the metal, and I wanted him to stretch that authenticity and to grow his authentic self, to test who he is and to explore all he can be. And the only way to do this is to teach how to think of your next question. Or if this does not happen by this age, I truly believe that if by 3rd grade, if we don't teach them how to be interested in the world around them, they may turn into those gossipy adults. And that to me would have been a fate worse than death. If every phone call I would get from my son would be a gossip, because my mother would not allow that in our home. And so I really wanted his phone calls to be interesting. So I didn't want him repeating only what he heard and never what he learned. What was inspiring or puzzling or interesting? Not something besides somebody else's stub toe. I would ask him to think of 3 good things that happened in his day, and then end with a question about something he wants to know about me or my day, or what I think or need. Or we could go over the 7 days and he could pick a topic like movies, art, things like that. And this is how, or do you want to, what's happening this weekend? Can we go to the roller rink, Mom? What do you think? And this is how our communication came alive in letters. Hundreds of letters. And this is one of my trunks of letters. It's my most prized possession, and I want to show it to you. I have many trunks of these from my son. Letters of love, of building authenticity. And so when he writes his little letters, I gave him all envelopes in the school. He would date them, which I think is very important. Hi, did you have a good week? I did. It sure has been rainy. I like to I like to travel by train and plane. What do you like to travel in? A bus, a plane, a taxi? Do you like pizza or noodles? I want to have fireworks. Thanks for the Lego van. If I had a bus, it would be pink, peace signs, and and back, blue, back, green, purple, red, and white birds. Love, Adam. I love you more. PSS. Did you like school? Question mark. So this is how it went, back and forth. Now there were so many questions in here. I'm sure mine was a 5-page essay all the way back to him. So this is absolutely my most prized possession, because today when he's talking to me, it just reminded me of how he sought solutions and how he celebrated his wins and questioned more. And deep breath. I'm in the cafe getting ready. So my most prized possession are these letters, and I think it's the biggest secret of our days, is to really help our environments and these little kids, as well as our elderly. You know, tonight we had with my dad, the last Saturday of the month, we have all the grandkids gather around on Zoom. And at the end of the session, they're asking Grandpa, and I learned something 2-3 times brand new about my dad. So this is what's exciting about teaching kids and adults. Some of these grandkids are in their 30s, early 40s, about how to ask more questions. And to develop a rock and best friends, you have to want to know them. So today, when I walk through Liv's life story and I see her authentic self grow, she asked questions young. Her and Adam still seek out the who, what, where, when, why, how, now answers as they drift from family to friend. And Dawson coming right up to me with those questions. When Adam called me today and shared his very special historic moment in a very private way, it brought tears to my eyes as he shared how he walked through this story and how he was able to have this experience he so needed to have. And he was able to be the authentic young man he so earned his right to be. Stand tall, I tell the kids, shoulders back, chin up, and your crown will shine. Those authentic voices wherever you both shall go. When I see them shining, and I'm so proud of my best friend I have walked with since she was only 2, and the young man I raised who makes me better and brighter whenever he shines his light on me. So today, if you are lucky enough to take on a young person, teach them the 7 days of balance and how to ask questions. Teach them the big words like authenticity. Then preach it and repeat it. And when they get to 3rd grade, sit back and read, and you will see their authentic self glow from the letters they write to you. Saturdays are for getting ready. I'm getting ready for my Adam to come home. Mother's first year of passing is coming to an end. My son promised me a year ago that he will be here to celebrate our 1 year of mourning coming to an end on June 7th, and then my mother's birthday, June 8th. Adam's loyalty to my parents and my walk with their loss that he and I have shared reverently, as only he knows that this is the weight that you give someone who has helped you become your authentic self. And it started for us the minute he was born. Today I can say, I am rare. Today I pray that you feel that you are rare. Today I encourage you all to be rare. Getting ready. We need one day a week to find something to get ready for. Oh boy, this week I needed the whole day. Saturdays getting ready. Everyone needs one day a week to get ready for something. Becoming a preservationist is my life's passion. To be authentic, you need to accept yourself for who you are and treat others with respect. Authentic people display a consistent set of values and don't change their behavior from one conversation to the next. I will do my best every day to be my authentic self. I am in development and I will be getting better, but I will keep my values with me along the way. In doing so, I will always keep those voices who dance in my head that have helped me become a better me. You are who you hang around, Mother said. And oh, how I hang around some amazing rocks that are diamonds shining bright in my life. I am a coach, your head coach, building a digital home, how to live life on purpose 7 days a week. Tell me your authentic stories and share, and let's gather here. Find your rocks, grab a ball and build a team. Look for a feather, hope is all around. So jump, bounce, and fly with me 7 days on purpose. I teach it, preach it, and repeat it with a balance. Like, share, and remember that Saturdays are for those who dare. Be avant-garde, be rare, and remember me. Sincerely, Colleen, number 33.